Greetings, all greetings, greetings, greetings. Look at this. Sometimes I look at this chaos and wonder how it works. Seriously, when I walk out from our house and look at the traffic, I wonder how it works. See around here? No traffic light. And so far, I've seen only one accident at this intersection. One. Not that there are not more, but I have only seen one. And whoever the person was ran off into right around that corner right there. There's what they call a jeepney parking space. I don't know if you can see through the window there of blue, but that's where the jeepneys park, behind this building right here. And one driver ran straight through there. I guess he came from this way and went straight through there and destroyed his Toyota Fortuner or 4Runner. But that chaos is the traffic here in the Philippines. And the only thing more chaotic than that is the politics. And that one was this politics in America is something else, but Philippines is way beyond that. Anyway, beautiful day. I mean, look at that. When I was a kid, the old people in Barbados used to say when the clouds are like that, the fishing is good. And I remember us getting a lot of fish during that time. My auntie used to get the fish, salt it, and keep it for when the rainy season, when a lot of fishermen didn't go out. So they had fish saved up. Anyway, this is Balanga, Philippines, Bataan. Get ready to plant the rice fields again. I pulled out my phone to make this video as I walk because there's I'm seeing some events taking place in America, all over the world really. You got rebellions starting up in Africa. They're throwing out the Caucasians that are in charge of Africa. They have black skin, yeah, but the same people that were there when our forefathers were taken into slavery, when the same people who families mindset that sold us to the Caucasian is still in Africa, in charge of Africa. And the young people now, instead of being sold off as slaves, are beginning to rise up, saying, hey, we want to get rid of you because we can see where you're going. We don't want that direction anymore. But that people don't think that they're not being helped. If they weren't being helped, it wouldn't have happened. Because the young people in Africa, the ones that remain there, are all hoping that they can grow up, have enough money, just like the old ones, where they can live like the old people. And now people are beginning to say, hey, that's not going to happen. Even if it happened, do you want your grandchildren to grow up in life, have the life that you have? You got people like Piela Lamumba, who is speaking the truth. to the power. And they're not listening. The young people are listening. The last straw, well, the two last straws to be cut were Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. And then when Pierre Lumumba and a few other of Africa's, how would I put them? They're the people in Africa who will say, hey, Africa has got to stand up. It's a waste of time trying to deal with France and Germany and all that. Get rid of them and let's build our own. Even if we fail, we'll learn from our failures and correct it. But Ghana, the government didn't want that to happen because they could see that it's going to be the beginning of a snowfall. If they allow that to happen in Ghana, that's going to happen all over Africa. But guess what? They shut it down, and 30 days later, it started up in Kenya. And now it's spreading all over Africa. Well, all over sub-Sahara Africa. And northern Africans are so scared of what's going on south that they are oppressing the black people who they consider not to be northern Muslims. The Arabic people, the Turkish people who came into North Africa are now trying to push the native African out. The black-skinned African, because they are afraid that these black-skinned Africans are going to see what's going on in the south and say, hey, this is our land. But anyway, that's some of the changes going on in Africa. The other changes going on in the rest of the world is in America. And I know you guys have been hearing all about what's going on with Donald Trump and what's happening with Joe Biden. And that's the woman, Kamala Harris. One piece of work. Anyway, don't wait until November. You hear what I'm telling you? Listen, please, do not wait until November. You can see the writing on the wall. December 1st, when the I don't know how I put it, when the analysis of how the presidential races were won or lost are all out, or a majority of them. The big boys in it, like ABC and NBC and this one and that one, you know, who think they know what was going on and whose agenda they were pushing. If their agenda didn't work out, they would be put. Why didn't it work out? Analysis of everything that failed 30 days later, when it starts to slow. And there's a man dash to the door, to the exits. And the courts get involved in the election because don't ever believe that there's an accident, the so-called assassination attempt. They're still talking about Kennedy. Who was involved? And when the truth about who was involved comes out, it will come out. This is not going to be like the Kennedy assassination. It's going to come out. And a lot of people, famous people, names that you know, are gonna go on trial. America is gonna be a different place after those trials, but it's gonna take about 4 or 5 years before things settle down. In the meantime, the black American, as they call themselves, we call ourselves and are called. Well, we call ourselves that because other people, we are practical and know that fighting against calling ourselves that is not going to work. We getting into arguments about it. We don't want to argue about it, so we just accept it. But most of us are not prepared for the next 5 years. And what I've been trying to do is get you prepared. I didn't tell you about the 5 years coming. I just warned you about the 3 years, the war in Ukraine. And I was telling you, for the next 3 years, prepare. Africa, prepare. Didn't say about America. Because, and I told you really why I didn't tell you about America, because it doesn't make sense on focusing on that when there's a bigger job that we have to do. I told you, don't focus on that, focus on Africa. Now, you see why I told you to focus on Africa. And now that we focus on that, and we see what's going on there, let's get back to America. Those of you who have decided you're going to move to Africa, you know what diversification is? Look that up. I mean, look it up. Look at all of the, what I call it, explanation. They will tell you the meaning of it. The dictionary will tell you the meaning of the word. But then it gives you examples of what diversification is. Diversification is where you live, what you eat, where you spend your money, how much you spend. That's what I'm talking about in this video. What kind of car you buy. Now, a lot of you like to buy new cars every once in a while. You know, I know people who buy new cars every 3 years. Or every 5 years, when the extended warranty they buy out, they buy a new car. Wow, forcing into diesel. Anyway, you might want to put up. Sorry about that. My phone just fell. Anyway, you might want to put off that purchase. That $70,000 that you're going to spend on a car. And if you finance it, 10 to 15,000, which is going to make you about 85,000. You need it in the next 5 years. And if you don't need it, then one of your children is going to, your brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, and even your parents might need it. You're hearing people saying the economy is so great now. But look at how much money extra, I'm talking about, let's go to and look at, every time you see Biden go to Congress and say, hey, I need 50 billion, I need 60 billion, I need 70 billion, I need 100 billion. Just count all of those billions up and see how much additional money has been pumped into the economy to keep it appearing to be in great shape. You hear what I'm saying? Given the appearance of being in great shape. If one of my children is making $50 a week, and every week he comes to me and say, "Dad, I need $50 to help me pay for this." Yeah, he's making $50, but people are looking at the $50 he's making and not looking at the $50 that he's coming to get from me every week. And that's what's happening in the US. The money that's not in the budget that the president is spending is asking for. And remember now, the president gotta get money in the budget. The president gets money, the Defense Department gets money, and then there's a secret budget that the president controls that he can use for anything at all. And there are only certain people in the US that he reports to about what he does with that money. But anyway, diversification. Make sure you get a car that's going to get you from point A to point B and will last for the next 5 years. Make you have a good mechanic, because your car dealerships and the people who you think you can depend on gonna have a rough time. Anyway, like I said, study that word diversification and plan accordingly. If you plan on going to Africa, look at where you're going. As you can see, all across the continent, the fires are beginning to start burning. The fires are beginning to burn. So if you find yourself in a fire and you don't have a fire extinguisher, guess what? You didn't study you didn't listen to me about diversification. Because diversification is a preparation for events to change. You know, heat, water, gas, a generator, almost like you preparing for a hurricane. If you can, buy a two-way radio that you can talk to somebody all over the planet. That you can talk to somebody anywhere on the planet with, in case your cell phone system goes down. You see what happened the other day when all the banks and airlines and everything went down? That's not accidental. That's a test of the system. Is it possible to shut down? And what happens when it's shut? How long it takes to get back up and running? Anyway, hope I didn't throw water on your day or rain on your day or your parade. I hope what I'm talking to you about, you're smiling and saying, wow, I was thinking the same thing. You see, he just proved my point that I was right all along. I said information is information. It's not scare you, or it's just information. Me, There's some things I like doing. I like watching the news because even though it is not, it's supposed to be serious, to me it's fun because I look at the things do and people have, how in the world should somebody do that knowing the results? And you shake your head and laugh, but it's serious. Anyway, have a great day wherever you are. Peace.